everyone. This is Kristi and Swan here, and we are going to be unboxing the storyboards and concept art from a forgotten, I didn't even know, did you know this existed?
I did not know this existed.
I did not know this existed until it came up on eBay. So hopefully it's not a grade schooler messing with us. Apparently after the critical success of the animated Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe back in the 70s, which aired on television and I believe won an Emmy, they decided to try making a movie. They were going to actually release in theaters of Magician's Nephew. And so this is the concept art or storyboards through the children's experience in Charn, and I've only seen about 5 or 6 pieces of what was on the eBay advertisement, and I have not seen what is actually in the box, so we're going to be unboxing this for you today. And oh, it does have one of those little tabs you can.
Oh, perfect. Yay. Yeah.
We'll probably throw that out into the world.
Into the void.
Into the void. Ooh. Oh wow, it looks like unboxing this ancient manuscript, because I mean this is 50 years. Oh my goodness, it is almost.
If it's
77,
so maybe 40?
80, 90, 10, 40 years old.
Yeah, we're 18 years into this.
Wow.
Yeah, 40 years old. It's an ancient manuscript.
Mm.
And there's nothing else besides bubble stuff in the box. Okay.
No rings?
No.
Okay.
I should have brought mine with me.
Don't want to cut anything that shouldn't be cut.
Yeah. It's a big plastic wrap.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a binder, it looks like.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I don't know what became of the rest of the story, if it was ever made or if there was just, as far as not, I mean, whether any more storyboards.
Yeah, because obviously the film is not coming to existence.
Never came out, yeah.
As far as we know. Maybe they made it and just like, oh, this is awful, we need to bury it.
No. The art of the movie. Oh, the movie.
Oh, I know, maybe yeah.
I like the idea that there's a rogue edition of The Magician's Nephew.
Yeah, it just exists and then no one's ever been able to see. Maybe it's a masterpiece and it was lost to time.
Okay.
But this is our masterpiece, I know.
So it feels like 70s plastic.
Okay, that seems era accurate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And wow, this is really. Look at all the.
Maybe we'll edit
the raggedy. Of this the raggedy edges do look like a. Check that out. Look like an ancient manuscript. So.
Yes, so much.
We've got the Magician's Nephew sequence 3, the attic room. So it's not from the very beginning. Okay.
Right, so they would have had the beginning would have been like Polly and Diggory meeting probably.
Right. So it says original storyboard sketches. Besides precaution for maximum protection and security at all times. We should be wearing our cotton gloves.
Okay.
I don't have cotton gloves. Okay.
Okay. It looks like pencil. That looks like typewriting.
And the pages are already coming out.
Okay. We can get those little things.
Yeah, something.
Was this fold out?
Maybe. Oh, wow. Okay, so here we have Polly and Diggory, and they're in period clothes. Of course, in the animated Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, they were in more or less contemporary clothes for the 70s.
Right. And maybe because this like already goes back in time even before the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, maybe it's more natural to do that.
So here they've definitely got that kind of early 1900s, late 1800s.
Yeah, they got the candles.
That's a very bad way to hold a candle.
The wax would drip on you. But I feel like that's even in the original picture. They don't even really have proper candle holders in the original illustration.
Yeah, this seems very reminiscent of something Baines would.
Yeah, I could see Polly and Diggory being like, I don't care about hot wax, and just kind of, going for it.
So it's in, it looks like it's in crayon or pencil.
I see pencil,
colored
crayon,
pencil.
and pencil.
Colored pencil?
Yeah, just kind of doing the basic. Polly cautiously pushed open the little door.
Yeah, so they're in the attic. They're both standing on the beams. They're standing on the beams of the attic. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
And we get their expression. Okay, interesting.
So he's got black hair, it looks like, and she's a blonde.
Yeah, that seems about right. I mean, I could see him being dark brown is how he usually, but you know.
I think they say in the book, don't they, that she has bright hair?
I can't remember, but the illustrations definitely have her.
Usually have her as a blonde,
yeah. I feel like that suits her.
Yeah, me too. The two children stared in utter surprise.
Background music.
Wait a minute, is that the...
So do you think this would be roughly the style of animation even? Or it's just...
Maybe.
Necessarily
we'll go further. When I first saw this, it was rough enough that I actually thought I was maybe looking at a child's book report. But later, pieces... yeah, I could see that being a style. I'm trying to think whose style... It wasn't a major company that was going to produce it.
Yeah.
Like Disney or Don Bluth at the time. I'm not quite sure about the way that, Polly's side sweeps are almost going into her eyeball there, but I think it was just supposed to be a quick drawing.
Yeah, exactly. So, just to get the idea across.
Yeah, I don't
think
that's going to be... Yeah.
And he's got the collar and she's got the big bow in her hair. I think it works.
Okay, and then...
His hair's a little longer than I
It is long, yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Ooh, this one folds up.
Oh, this is nice. So
there's the yellow and green rings.
Pan of attic room. A faint humming sound is heard. So there's background music. Got a really pretty little. So this is Uncle Andrew's study. He's got a microscope and a. Things are there. You can see they're kind of glowing.
Yeah.
They do look like they're glowing, which is impressive because really all it is I guess just a little bit of bright color.
Because the rest of the room is done in just blue and black, and when you see the colored rings, they stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is quite long.
Yeah.
This is quite long. Yeah, I think we should go ahead and...
I like, this reminds me of like picture books of a certain era, like Curious George.
Yeah.
The type of drawing, because it's partly because it's pencil crayon, but just, yeah, I like that a lot. This could almost be a picture book. We're reading a Magician's Nephew picture book.
There was one once, there was a, they did 2 comics, graphic novels. They did one of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and they did one of Magician's Nephew. And it was really cool because it's the only time I think I had ever seen Jadis's sister illustrated. And I thought that was such a cool moment to see that scene.
It would be to see that. Okay, now this is like a photograph?
Yeah, so...
there's a note over here.
Yeah, I think, let's go through the highlights. But this looks like it's... Okay, so it sounds like there's a summer rainstorm outside.
Yeah.
And so they put, I think this is probably a photograph they put to give an idea of what the weather is outside. So it's a dark and stormy night.
Yes.
It's a dark and stormy night, and it's probably like he's looking toward the rings or something, and flashes of lightning and...
I like that idea. Because, it's ideas, they're playing indoors because of the rain kind of thing. It was a wet summer. You have actually be a storm at this point, this dramatic moment.
Yeah.
That's really great.
So, okay, and then we see them again. Oh, they're still looking in. They're seeing the lightning flashes.
Okay, they haven't entered the room yet. They've just, looked at it.
It's curious, though, because there's a light in this picture. The light is coming behind them. So what's casting, unless there's a light at an opposite window along the attic, then I don't know what's casting their shadows.
Oh yeah, her shadow seems to be ahead, but that could be that can't really be from his candle, no.
Yeah. Okay, so they go into the room.
Oh, there's a skull!
Ooh, it's a big skull.
And there's the chair.
Oh, that's right, the chair turns around. And what else had that happen in it? I'm trying to think.
Like another...
No, some other movie or some other scene had... And then, the hair. Oh, he's good. He's got the big hair. Uncle Andrew has the big hair.
That's awesome.
That's fun.
I like that we get little notes and dialogue and stuff, too.
It's going to be challenging to open this book in the middle.
Oh, yeah. And this is basically, that's just regular lined paper.
Yeah.
But everything is,
back in the day, you can only use what you had, I guess. I don't know. And...
he's gonna lock the door.
Something about that face looks so familiar. Uncle Andrew has a certain...
Yeah. Well, it's just like iconically Uncle Andrew.
That's very... Yeah, I like they're very much the way they're depicted in the book, except for maybe Diggory's hair is a little bit longer.
Yeah. he's not on the other side. Stopping. Oh, and then he's like.
He's already slammed the door. He already had the key in the previous picture, so I'm not
music
sure.
Punctuation. I like that he had to go with the slang. And I like that the skull kind of jumped up and looked like it was giving an expression.
Oh, whoa. Oh, the skull actually rolls off Polly is terrified. Wow.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's something else.
Yes. That's so ominous. Yeah.
It reminds me of in the animated Mr. Tumnus. He doesn't do the thing with his hands, but he has that moment where I'm delighted. That is to say, his eyebrows do this weird thing. He's looking at the camera, absolutely delighted.
And this
to
point
meet you is like,
here it makes sense because Andrew is,
Andrew is scary and evil, but right then you don't really understand as a child yet that Tumnus is evil at that moment. He's kind of being creepy.
Well, I guess so, a little bit.
Yeah. That's actually one of his.
Yeah, as simple as these are, I get the feeling that the artist here really did cares about the story.
Yeah. So there the hair is more
brown.
Yeah,
it's a dark brown.
Okay, it's a dark brown hair.
Yeah.
And then he's in a brown outfit, which is interesting. Isn't that what she eventually put him in when she colored
I think so, yes.
for the 50th
I
anniversary?
usually see him in the sort of the brown Norfolk suit.
And Polly's in the blue.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's really good. Yeah, and there opening the little attic door. I think if being Pauline Bain's illustration, it is almost a larger door they come through, but it makes more sense. They sort of popped out of a cupboard, and it's like, whoa, what are the odds?
Check all the cupboards in the house. Now here his hair has gone more top heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The green one. That makes sense.
He freaks out. I don't.
Yeah.
Why would he freak out?
Well, it has to be a yellow one that she touches. I guess if you touch a green one, I wouldn't really do anything.
Nothing would happen, so I don't know why he's scared about it.
Well, I don't know. I guess he always says it kind of sudden, like it needs to be. Oh no, it has to be a yellow one that you take.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. I don't know.
It's not like she'd do it and something would happen, and then she would freak out and not touch the color he wants her to touch. So
probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where you from? But you may have heard the green one making noise too.
Oh yeah, she can hear the buzzing.
Yeah. Maybe she did. I like that profile of her.
Love the level of animation that this would have been rendered in if they were actually thinking of taking it to the theater.
Yeah, it would have been better quality than Lounge and Wardrobe.
Well, the other thing, that's the thing, because what I'm looking at here has kind of television outlines on the frames more than movie outlines. That looks like an old-fashioned television screen.
Right.
In fact, even by the 70s, I don't know that we had screens like that so much anymore, but some of us did. Yeah, I guess we did somewhat. But I'm curious because what I read said they thought it was going for a feature film.
Right. Interesting that maybe would be how they show her disappear.
Oh yeah, she's like negative space. That's kind of wow.
And then she probably just gone altogether, but to show that like a flash.
Yeah, an after effect.
Yeah.
He's kind of his leg is halfway at the back.
Yeah, because in film you almost always have to do something to not just have the person not there anymore.
Well, that's right. That's what they did. That was so strange in the Fellowship of the Ring, which was different from what they did. What was in the book, where in the book Gandalf was worried about Bilbo just disappearing.
Right,
and he
so
added a puff of or a flash.
Yeah, he did it as special effects.
Right, and in the movie he just basically I think there's a slight almost shrink effect.
Yeah,
isn't there a shrinking in his frame or something?
Yeah,
but he's just gone.
Yeah,
pretty much, and nothing to explain it, and it's a very jarring.
Which is the
not,
point.
Yeah.
In the book, he mentions it being that kind of jarring. That's why he screams like this happens because it's just suddenly not there.
Yeah. There's a very Don Bluth look to that scream. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Mrs. LeFay. So they're actually pretty thorough, and I wonder if that's the box.
interesting to actually show the box.
The Atlantean box. That's an
Is
unusual
that
shape.
like a mouse or a guinea pig? It must
It's
be
a
like
mouse. It looks like a mouse, but that would be funny if there were guinea pigs hiding in the corners. I like
guinea
that.
pigs that escaped. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, showing you like the mouse cowering is kind of neat too.
I would too, little guy.
Yeah.
You've seen what happens to rodents.
Oh, and they actually have the photo. That's nice because in the book, no, even Uncle Andrew says that's her, and so that's why Diggory recognized having seen the photo of her before. That's a really nice touch though, to have a visual, and then you could either do even flashback and show her, because in the book you're going to imagine it anyway, because you're sort of describing the
Do
story.
you know who that looks like though?
The lady in Tweety Bird?
It does that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like, I guess maybe they think all old women are animated alike, but no, it looks like Granny from Tweety Bird.
Yeah.
But I was thinking it looks like Mr. Nezer's grandmother from An Easter Carol.
Oh yeah, I guess that's classic animated grandmother.
Yeah.
Or little lady.
Nibby, don't you know me? Didn't I tell you there's no such thing as ghosts?
Yeah. Okay, there's a close.
Okay, now she got kind of jowly suddenly. Yikes.
Yeah, that's not. I feel like that's not the right look for her.
No, I think she's thin, and I think of her as thin and frail and more
Something
fairy-like.
very sinister. Ooh,
Sinister,
yeah.
a little bit, yeah. Although she did try to get him to leave it all alone in the end.
Yes, because even she lives like, whoa, this is not to be messed with.
Mhm.
It should just be. Well, maybe she didn't even like. I can't do anything with this. It doesn't necessarily want other people to get to do stuff with it.
Yeah, I know that. Again, I can't think of the guy's name. Evening Star wrote a story about how
Does
that
she kind
was
of have a
passed
redemption
on.
arc, or is she still?
I don't recall. I just recall that Andrew definitely broke the promise.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And I think she didn't trust him at the end.
Yes, get back to the point.
Okay, so this is very faithful what I'm
Yeah,
seeing
very
so far.
faithful, yeah.
And consequently would be pretty long.
I guess. Well, I mean, the book takes a couple hours
Yeah.
to read. They probably cut some things down along the way. This is most of this is fairly important to the story.
It's also hard to tell because the pages are actually showing every individual shot, and you're having dialogue going across shots, probably.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's hard to tell the actual
length
time. Okay, that is the Atlantean box. That's cool.
Yeah, it's nice to actually see it.
Ooh, it's coppery or red or
Ooh,
something.
that suits, I think.
Yeah, or you know what? It could be because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
It could be orichalcum.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard of orichalcum?
No.
Orichalcum is a gold alloy that was like reddish.
Yeah.
That was it was like only made or found in Atlantis. So that would actually
it has to be an Atlantean box. So
I don't know back then if anybody knew what orichalcum was. Well, like I think it had to be in the oldest documents.
Yeah.
So about Atlantis, it had to mention it. So
Yeah.
it's possible that's actually what they're playing off of here.
That would be perfect.
Because that's a really specifically coppery color.
Yes. And copper, I feel like the book, like Magician's Nephew itself, is kind of like Venus, like copper is connected to the book in some ways, I think.
Oh, well, there's a lot of metallurgy kind of ideas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that actually would be really cool. The key
Yeah.
is gold.
Yeah.
Or brass. Gets to see the dust.
Oh my word! So we didn't use all the dust.
There's still some left, and it's got gold and again coppery reddish sparkles.
Wow.
So that would actually be completely appropriate.
Yeah, that kind of adds to some of the wonder of it.
Yeah.
But then the way he describes it is like he opens the box and it's just dust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, sure, it makes
well, he did eventually.
The rings themselves are very shiny.
They are very shiny, but of course. It depends because once something's oxidized, it won't be shiny at all. That's what when you're doing, so when you're making jewelry, you heat something to fuse and solder something together, and after that, it's got a white paste, basically, or a black, a white or a black on the outside, and you have to put it into an acidic bath, and then scrub it with a wire brush to bring up the shine and polish. Again, so actually it just depends kind of on what state the metal was. Now gold dust, because gold's inert, so I don't know if gold actually...
It's magical, so it could be.
Yeah, I wonder if gold would not have that effect if it was just gold powder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always thought it was just like gold from like the earth I mean, powder from the earth,
Yeah.
but he obviously distilled it into.
But it can give a sense of like wonder, like he's starting to be like in awe of it as well.
Yeah,
the idea
he
of
looks
from
a
another
little
world.
Take it in.
And like maybe I feel like the box could just snap shut now, and him be like, "What about Polly again?"
Yeah. Certain things in blue that wouldn't have made it onto the copier, but then not everything, and I'm not entirely sure what the process is, why Diggory was drawn in blue and then drawn over in, maybe he had problems with that particular outfit. I don't know. It seems like that happens to Diggory more than other things in the pictures.
Yeah.
Because the blue, of course, would be one of the colors that wouldn't take on a copy machine.
Oh. Does it look good? Oh.
And, ooh, a lovely ancient bug who's been preserved on the side.
Yeah, I've got books like that. I liked that we had just now, like, Uncle Andrew in the shot with the rings in the foreground. So, like, the setting, like the fire and the little rings. It's just very right on.
I like that Diggory's got a little bit of an attitude here. You can actually kind of see him trying to be brave and calling his uncle out on,
exactly.
Well, why didn't you go yourself then?
Yeah, to actually, you don't see the body language when you read the book.
Right.
And so this body language fits in with really what's going on.
Yeah, there have been a couple times here where he's showing a very strong posture.
Yeah.
That would be inappropriate to use with your, with adults, except that your adult in this case has been completely shady and unresponsible.
Yeah.
Irresponsible.
Is there a goldfish in the test tube?
Oh,
that's so like Uncle
I
Andrew.
do not believe that would make it into the final cut, but that's hilarious.
It might.
Remember when we had a TLC goldfish?
Oh,
it was your goldfish!
The sharkfish.
The shark, it was yours!
Yeah.
What has he done?
What have you done with the
What have you done with
sharkfish?
Goldie? Oh no.
Oh.
Well, now we know how she turned into a shark.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Oh, does it get... Oh, it actually comes into another scene.
It comes into it. Oh.
It's not just a background shot.
Oh, it's going to come off.
Oh, it's hard to fold it over.
Doing the experiment, and I need subjects to do it on.
So maybe he's tested on the fish too.
Oh gosh, the poor little fish is looking at Diggory kind of like, help me!
Yeah. Uncle Andrew snarl.
I want fan fiction. Oh wow, that's a good facial expression for Andrew. I want fan fiction about the fish. And he's got the fish. There's this whole subplot about the fish.
Oh, that's so good. And it could be not even acknowledged, but just kind of visually like, and it just makes so much sense.
Well, and it's changing the kind of, because it's not even a walk and talk. They're just standing in a room talking.
Yes.
And this is giving them something physically to do.
Visually, that kind of fits with the place. Is that I like that.
And the fish is all smiling now. It's
Hey,
like,
fishy.
hey, a responsible human has me now.
Yeah, the fish is reacting. Oh, I love that.
So the question is, I think the idea is he's experimenting on it, but it can't be too much in that beaker other than water, right?
Yeah, probably not. Probably just,
Uncle
he
sees
takes
his
the
flask. Yeah, this is, wow.
I like that. I like this. Oh, this fish has a tongue and a
Do fish have tongues?
I don't. Good question.
I don't remember.
I don't think I've ever seen a fish with a tongue. I don't think they do. But it's a slightly different tone. Yes. But if you're gonna have an animated Magician's Nephew, I'm on board for this.
I guess it's no weirder than Bartok, so Oh my.
That is awesome. Yeah, this fish needs to go down the legend. What if the fish ends up in Narnia as well, or a different world, just hops into the pond?
Oh yeah, he pops into. He's floundering around. He goes into the wood between the worlds. He's flopping around until he hits the.
Or if you go
to
the wood between the worlds, you're gonna come up like in the pond anyway.
Oh, that's right.
We could do some adventures just about this fish.
This fish is going
and
through
like
this
fish
pond.
is just who lives in Uncle Andrew's study in a flask, and he just accidentally gets a ring, and I don't know if you get both, and it probably won't. Well, if you're gonna go into other worlds, you would need. Basically, no. Yeah, you need both the yellow and the green ring. So you need the green ring to go into
so he would end up stuck just. Well, he'd probably be happy. He'd end up stuck in a pond in the surface in the wood between the worlds.
He would have a very happy life. But it'd be nice if he could somehow have both, and then whenever he touches the one in the bottom of his flask,
well,
go.
Yeah, there was not a second one on the guinea pig, right? It was just the one-way ring.
Yes, it was just a one-way ring. But he could, if he had both in his flask, then he could touch one. Maybe the whole flask would go. He would just go that way.
Yeah.
the traveling adventures, and he could like move around in his flask.
His flask is a time machine.
That would be awesome.
That's
we
really
could
cool.
tell that story.
How did Andrew get that on the fish? I mean, how did he get a ring on a guinea pig?
He tied a ribbon. He had a ribbon tied around the.
And then as he
guinea
pulled it
pig.
tight, it came in contact
Probably.
with the guinea pig. Okay,
Yeah, that probably is the case. Or he just kind of held it up and then like.
that's actually probably a really good way to do it, considering.
Yeah. And the fish is still there.
The fish is like, don't leave me.
Oh, I wonder if anything else will happen with the fish. Early on, is the fish almost
sleeping?
It
He's
looks
tired,
like he's sleeping.
exasperated. I can't tell his eyes closed.
Yeah. Thing to be like careless about having just fish in like laboratory equipment and just he has a fish there.
He has a fish, and I don't know. Maybe it's a pet fish, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, he doesn't like animals because well, he's been experimenting on them, which Lewis indicates. Then later, when he meets all the talking animals, it's like
you're right.
Because of that, because he's been cruel to them, he's afraid of them.
Now I wonder, is he gonna meet any fish in Narnia who are like angry at him?
Oh.
The mer people are like, we know what you did. They use chivalry. I hope you have enough chivalry to go to the ladies' aid.
Oh yeah, I haven't been following the dialogue now, but I imagine they've covered basically the same ground.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, because if he says that, he has to have had the previous part where he's like, yeah, cult.
Now what does that mean?
Off screen?
Oh, yeah.
OS, maybe?
Yeah,
of course.
Off screen, of course, yes.
Oh, and so he puts putting on gloves. So they do it definitely with the you
okay.
can't touch them thing, touching and bringing them in.
Can't touch
Instead of
this.
like the wearing the ring, where like they did in the play. Oh, right, and he's putting one in his one pocket. Safe to touch, he probably wouldn't because he's kind of a coward.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That's a lot of metallurgy to do without actually coming in contact with the rings. But I guess if you work with your gloves, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like character studies, like this is the actual design. They may not have gotten that far.
Right.
You know how they have character model sheets to see what they really would have been.
I feel like, but even for this degree, they're
not bad.
They're pretty consistent in what they have the characters looking like.
Yeah, for the concept art. Yeah.
I would have had Diggory's hair shorter, but it's okay. At this point, Diggory hesitates and he's like, oh, okay, fine. And there's the fish again. He's sleeping, I think.
Aww.
I like that this fish is here. At the main door.
Yeah, like, well, if you don't want to go, there's the attic. Bye.
Yeah, I like the disrepair.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And he's shaking his fist.
You beast. A little over the top.
At that moment, there's earlier it makes sense to call him you beast, but right here, it's not that he's doing anything particularly, worse.
Yeah, I like where he reaches out because he couldn't decently have done anything else.
Yes.
It is a little more understated than this. This part might have flown a tiny bit over the top.
Yeah.
Depends who plays it.
Yeah. There's this skull and crossbones book. And the
Ooh, yeah.
And the fish. Ooh, I like that, because it's a red wooden tray. Like, we actually see that the tray is red here.
It looks like he very much is wearing the brown suit and has brown hair.
I like that.
Yeah.
Classic Diggory.
Yeah, I like right here they've used gouache to make it more of a foggy.
Interesting mist. I hadn't thought about that. I mean, that gels with the whole thing with In the Wood Between the Worlds, where it's kind of vague and you kind of forget stuff. So mist does kind of seem to fit with that dreamy feel, even if it's not in the book. I'd be okay with that.
Right.
Ooh,
okay. This was interesting because it's not what I usually envision. Usually, you see visions of or pictures of straight trees.
Yes.
All around the pool.
Everything
the pools are
being
neatly
identical.
spaced.
Yeah.
Right, and this is much more rugged, plus you've got the kind of strange giant mushrooms.
Yeah, it's more visually interesting. So in one sense I actually like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the one valuable part, like the story purpose part of everything being identical is that if you walk away, you might never find it again. So this one I feel like you could, but I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the mushrooms as a feature, but in a cartoon, I think I could get away with it better than maybe in a live action.
Okay. I mean, it's classic fairy tale to have like huge toadstools.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that's kind of pretty.
That is really pretty. I like that.
Ooh.
It's kind of swampish.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be on board. I mean, I don't know for sure if I'd make that choice, but I'm on board for it.
I'm wondering.
Does
I
that
guess
go
it's all glued down, so I don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
is there
wait,
more?
whoa.
Oh my word. Okay.
Oh wow. So
And all the pools
pan
look different.
across. Oh.
Look, so this one has light glowing out of it. That one is like green swirls. And that one has bubbles coming out of it. Okay, I actually kind of like this. It's visually really interesting.
That's
The
really
feeling
cool.
of each one is a different world, and you almost have a hint.
Yeah.
So I mean, it takes away that fear you might never find your own world again. But I
Right.
figure like that was never that key of an element anyway.
It depends how they play it. Yeah.
And so everything being identical does play one purpose. But I think, especially if you have it visually, that this would be actually more beneficial to the story.
Right. That's a really nice piece of artwork.
Yes, that is glorious. This might be my favorite one I've seen so far.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. So the one when they came through the world, it kind of had that green ripple. That I think where they came up from.
When Diggory first comes in through the puddle, we've got kind of a damaged page back here.
Okay, yeah.
That's
that shows that green swirl.
that shows a couple of them that show the swirling kind of thing going on. This does not appear to be part of the artwork. The purple.
Okay, that other story. Okay, so if they're gonna go through the bubbling one, do you think this one is Charn?
Oh, which one?
And the one with the bright light coming out of it could be what's going to be Narnia, or it could just be something
the
else.
sun hadn't come up yet in Narnia.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have to.
But
be
it still could be
sun.
like the pool could be shining. It's like a new world. Well, even if even the pool might not be there yet, though, Fred.
The very colorful. That's a more standard vision of the trees.
Yeah.
Except the trees are almost top heavy in that picture.
Well, yeah.
Needs to be perspective.
That's a big pool. It's almost like a
They
river.
spend a while here. So he tosses a pebble in. This one looks interesting. I'm game if you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea of jumping into a pool like that I actually kind of like that rather than just being like this is like level with the ground and we're jumping into this puddle.
Yeah, it's
we're like there's something more like a little bit more like you're committing to it. I don't know.
It's got varied plants. Where doesn't the wood just have usually grass?
Yeah, I think so. Just grass and trees
grass.
and
Where'd they find a rock? There's rocks everywhere. But yeah. In this picture.
I don't know. I sort of like it. It makes it a more interesting to see world in a way. Sure, that's a thought. That might feel unrealistic. Chuckles.
There, this is the one we thought was so pretty that they.
Yes.
So this is actually.
Oh my word. That's like paint and
I think it's ink.
Okay.
I think most of it is ink, and that's them. It looks like falling through the pool.
There's silhouettes in the hair.
This scene is called the ruin. We've gone through 2 scenes, by the way. We went through the one between the world. Now we're in the.
The sequence is the ruins of Charn.
Okay, the ruins of Charn.
Okay. Yeah, because there was Uncle Andrew's study was a sequence, and then there, every change of location.
That's really pretty. That's the kind of thing you wouldn't mind having on your wall, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So okay, that's actually on board, I think, or some kind of heavy card.
Wow.
Ooh. Okay, now that.
Like they're diving down through.
Yeah, that's a lot of. So there was probably some ink, and then it almost looks like a sand painting because he's sprinkled so much of the paint. Probably a lot of gouache.
I like this kind of like they're swimming through. There's not quite water, but this stuff and like going from world to world. It worked quite well. I think.
The way the lighter sand color almost is working.
Like you're going through.
You're not used to that color underwater. Exactly like that.
Like basically they're going through like almost the outer space of another world because like at one point coming from Earth, like he sees Saturn and stuff. Or one of the moons of Jupiter.
Because are you ready for the next page?
Okay.
Okay.
What?
Whoa.
What is that?
This ain't all normal stuff, and oh goodness, okay.
Oh my word!
I remember seeing this
on the eBay post.
On the eBay post, it looks like they are going. It almost reminds me of the Time Machine, the Morlocks, or something going on.
I kind of like it.
The water changed color, and the 2 children struggled to escape the ghostly creatures that drifted into view, and then melted into the shadows. An underwater phantasmagoria.
It kind of makes sense to me in a weird way. It's weird. And it may be a little creepier than I would have
wait a minute.
chosen.
That is the Wolfman. That is flat out the Wolfman.
Okay, so it wouldn't have been exactly what they did, but they were going for this sort of idea.
I think so.
And I love that they put the wax paper over it, so there's kind of vague.
Is that what's happening?
It's like it seems like there's two layers here, and there's like, and so they have them on the surface with all the bubbles, and like other stuff is kind of like in the water at a distance.
Yeah, like collage or something.
Something that kind of gives
photo
like
transfer.
Ancient Empire or whatever other kind of weird
right.
thing
I hope
going
jumping
on.
into Narnia doesn't look like that because that's not right.
No, jumping to Narnia should not look. It should not have this. So the point is they're going into like a really old world that has like
Disease
stuff going on. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that guy looks like, you know, he's seen stuff in Charn.
Yeah,
like,
that's what some of these things, like, I could see that being from Planet of the Apes. That looks like a very much a Wolfman picture, but some of these I cannot identify what this stuff is.
Yeah, but just kind of like scary faces, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, but at least this is very interesting. I'm open to something along this direction.
This is so scary. I mean, touching them because I'm afraid they're all gonna tear.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my word!
Now I think of a much redder.
Okay, it's more purpley than it.
That
But I
building
don't.
looks
I'm
like
on board with
downtown. That's not downtown like New Orleans though.
So clearly, these kind of like cut out of buildings to give the idea
Mm-hmm.
that they're going for, and like.
Well, I'm not saying it is, although that's pasted on. So
Yeah.
maybe it is actually downtown New Orleans. It could be. So really purple.
I like that it's like a very strong color choice,
Mm-hmm.
and then here again it's maybe more red.
You know?
So
Ooh, okay, now that's much more
yes.
classic.
Okay, this
Charn.
I like.
Although
a lot.
again, I feel like he cut and pasted some
Definitely
pictures here, but
it's just kind of giving the idea.
you know what I think is happening though?
What?
I think that maybe because I feel like we're getting into much more color now. I almost feel he's got a Wizard of Oz thing going on.
Well, or just he's doing the color at this point of the storyboards. I don't think that they would do the original part in black and white.
No, but
Or
I think there is a much.
more
There, I would not be surprised if there's a much more. More monochromatic, not completely.
Oh,
but
okay.
probably,
It's
I
like
think
less vibrant colors in London.
I would
where it's
wonder,
drab. Okay,
yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Although, yeah, I don't remember because I don't know if we saw Polly in blue earlier. I thought
So we
did.
kind of have like a bluer or more purpley shadows and like a
Mhm.
more obviously red sky, which it should be red from the light.
Yeah, these are
That
a little
works.
purpley red to me, but
Yes.
I'm not sure what's. I guess that's just a. That's a picture he's taking from old etchings and things like that.
Yeah.
But he seems to have drawn all.
That's
his
actually
own
the actual
staircase.
picture from the book of Charn.
is it?
Yeah, that is.
Oh, silly
That's
me.
the actual picture. I
Okay.
copied part of it one time in a painting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's Pauline Baines. Okay.
Nice. You can't go wrong.
No, can't go wrong with that. There clearly is already a lot of inspiration from her work.
Yeah, you can just the way they're walking and
Ooh,
things.
chains.
Oh.
So the gate.
Okay.
The portcullis
The
descends.
portcullis. Oh, behind them or in front of them? Must be behind them. That's terrifying.
Ooh.
Trapping us in with.
Or are they underneath?
Oh, they're underneath it. Okay.
And that adds an interesting bit of tension because everything was so still, but it could still be still long enough that would be very startling. Watch
Mhm.
out! Music stinger.
Okay, so it's the idea of the decrepit city
Yeah.
falling around them already before Jadis even wakes up.
Yeah, or something kind of.
Oops.
Oh, well, they could always. It's not like it blocks them in. They can like get back anywhere
Yeah.
with their rings, but still.
They're also like completely large enough to crawl through the portcullis.
That's true. So it's not that it's blocking them. Obviously, it's just unsettling.
Do you think anyone lives here? Not anymore.
Oh, it's all ruins. Oh.
Interesting shape on the staircase.
Yeah. It looks to me like it's kind of rounded. That might
It
be
does.
a
No,
mistake.
it really looks kind of rounded.
Like
I
a
can't tell.
wheel.
Well, I don't know if it's twisting. I feel like it's actually arcing
Yeah.
upwards straight, and that one's almost bowing under. But I'm not sure if that one's intentional or just sloppily done. I don't know.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's kind of put in some like old building stuff
Mhm.
there to get the idea.
Well, you know, movies used to do that too. If you remember some of the, I'm thinking particularly of one Peanuts called "What Have We Learned, Charlie Brown,"
Okay.
and they were recounting World War I or World War II battles. Linus is
Yeah.
explaining them, and they're showing old video is probably not the right word, but it's black and white, heavily, it's almost into silhouette of the landing on the beach of D-Day and things like that.
Well, if you're
behind
actually doing
the
something
characters,
historical.
I mean, it's really kind of, it's a very strange mix when they did it that way.
Yeah.
I don't think Bill Melendez was set to work on this. He did work on the first one. That would be the artist who worked on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe cartoon, and you guys would know him. He did all the early Charlie Brown Christmas and all the early Charlie Brown's specials. But I don't believe he was set to work on this. I might be mistaken. So, ooh.
I like that there's a lot of collage work here.
Mm-hmm.
So the big statue, and like you see their size and relative to that. I like that would give quite a lot of scale.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Oh, they're down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this part of the book got wiped out. Ooh.
Real good. Okay. Ha ha ha!
Stamping
Polly's
her foot.
angry.
Oh, who said I'm afraid? Watch out, that's what happened to Jill, dear. Somebody fell off a cliff.
Well, this is a little different in this case.
Sure.
He's actually taunting her. Sort of. Or, you know.
Yeah.
Visual faces. Mysterious music.
Mysterious music.
I love them. Ooh. Again, just need more.
One of these, one of these I'm gonna find one that I know and I'll be all, that's the Paris Opera. Ew, those freak me out. I don't like the fountain.
Yeah, and he's clearly put that in very intentionally. Like it's like a specific. Because remember, there was a fountain is mentioned in the book, and it has like that really old vine growing up it or something, and very dry. Mm-hmm. No, here they go right ahead to the gold doors.
Oh, I'd forgotten. Are they gold in the books?
I think so. Yeah.
Ooh.
And so they're just about to be like, oh, we may as well go home, and then they're like, oh, this door looks like it might.
This looks interesting. Yeah.
Let's check it out. Yeah, and then.
Okay, there's the hall of people, which he did draw in, which is interesting because he had the whole thing to pull from.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, so they would like pan. Oh, okay. So you see where the screen would be and where you pan along.
So conical hats were very much in fashion, and they actually repeat the characters down the row. I hope they weren't planning to do that.
It came back in fashion.
It came back in fashion. I hope they don't do that because some of these hats are very
specific.
Very specific.
Yeah, the Viking guys there again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a trend cycle.
There is.
Yeah,
I feel like that's taken directly from Baines, but I could.
Did she repeat?
I doubt it.
Well,
I doubt it. I do, but
yeah,
that's interesting. I remember there was a TV series where they kept reusing the same extras over and over and over again, but they made the mistake in the first episode or second episode of giving them names in a sequence. And so the one was, you know, talking to his wife Margot or his girlfriend or whatever, and she was saying, "Oh, Travis or Travis, I can't say Travis or Trevor." Yeah. You know, and they were having this argument, and because they had, I think it was because they had named them, they would show up in other episodes
like,
where they were supposed to be completely ignoring them. Well, the problem was that in one episode they were turned to stone, and this character came along and like broke their statue, and they were gone, and the animators were just using them as extras. They're just extras, and then they came back in another episode as extras, and because you just were kind of clued in to look for Travis or Trevor and Margot, you're like, wait a minute, they got killed.
They had a twin.
And they brought her back in a later, like, reincarnation of the series or something, reinvention of the series, and they made her the district attorney, and she became a really important character. It was very strange. Whoa, okay. So
what?
Some of these characters look...
That one looks like a skull.
Angry Queen Victoria or something. I don't know what's going on with some of these.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ghost of Christmas Future.
I mean, so it kind of makes sense, but they're all like... They don't quite make sense together, some of them?
Yeah.
Like, they're sort of different styles. I kind of like the Viking
bottle head guy.
Let's go with that. The horned bobblehead guy. Yeah. Except that one.
What? No, what? No, no.
Oh, what are we now?
Except
Yeah.
what? Except what?
Point is, how curious. Oh no, what did she say?
She says, see?
These people look unhappy and mean. Okay, so he doesn't think that Jadis looks unhappy and mean?
I wonder if he's gonna look at the very first person, or if he's gonna look at her.
Oh, okay, well let's find out. Because if he thinks Jadis doesn't look unhappy and mean, I think he's a bit blinded.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pan, probably.
Because he doesn't quite
That's
see Jadis
her.
for what she is.
That's her, though.
Whoa, shock cut. Nice.
And she has red hair.
Oh.
I thought for years that she had red hair, and I
there's an
thought
illustration.
I thought it was in the book, and I argued with people, and
What does she have in the
her dad is
language
creepy
in the
looking.
wardrobe?
None.
No hair. Oh, right.
It's in a cowl like
Okay.
the Queen of Snow White.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
She could, like,
okay.
her hair could suddenly turn dark when she eats the apple. I don't know.
And bare arms, yes.
Yes, and Letty would not approve.
Nope. The most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She looks very much like Islandly right there.
Oh.
The animated
Oh, yeah.
Islandly. Her mouth, something. That's a pretty
There's a
well
little pillar.
realized.
Yeah.
The what? The pillar? Yeah, the bell.
Huh. Yeah, I like what they're doing with it. It's simple, but very effective, and it's like. I think it's one of the more iconic things. Is like the square pillar with the bell. It's described fairly clearly.
That's just not a gargoyle I would see needing in my home.
Well, maybe Jadis
one-
has different ideas of decor.
Probably. Oh, there's the 1982 this was done.
Oh. Interesting. And there's some more empty chairs.
Oh, well,
yeah, 'cause I remember
that
saying
is-
that in the book. That it could have gone on for much longer.
Oh, but the world was destroyed early. But they
Yeah.
had sort of this crypt were they waxworks? They weren't. Just
I think they were in something. She calls them images.
images. They weren't actually the people frozen.
So presumably not, unless they were like presumably not. They were just like maybe really, really realistic
yeah.
in some way, maybe by magic.
And then they find the bell and the hammer
Yeah.
with snakes. It's almost Ouroboros.
Ooh. Yeah, interesting choice. Then the snakes on there.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. It doesn't not fit.
It'll be more appropriate later.
Oh yeah, when the lady with the lady with the green kirtle, who is in some sense part of Jadis's crew.
But I was thinking of the garden.
Right. Yes, in that way, yeah.
Color.
Ooh. Yeah, I've got like the stone underneath.
It's a pink bow.
Okay.
Okay.
Was it colored anywhere else? Maybe
I
not.
don't remember. I thought it was a little bit. Maybe I was just imagining.
Okay.
And
It's sort of
I
purplish.
hate it when you can't make out the lettering. I tried to decode the lettering on the stone table from the new movies as much as I couldn't make it anything.
Yeah.
They say it doesn't mean anything, but I love decrypting codes. Ooh, we've actually got it. Now I'm going to try to solve it.
Ooh.
That'll be fun. I'll see if it actually says anything. Of course,
Quite
I know
likely
what
they
it
just
should
made a
say,
bunch
but
of- yeah.
if it's in English,
Yeah.
which it shouldn't be. But.
Make your choice, adventurous stranger. Something's happening to. I wonder how they were gonna do the like transition.
Ooh. And he tries to
Oh,
pull her
interesting.
away.
Again, like when
Wait.
she goes for the ring at the beginning, so he's like trying to protect her from the
Oh,
lettering.
he's backing her off. That's
I mean, he's probably gonna change his tune in a minute if the book is if this is anywhere faithful.
right, because in the book he's just all into it, isn't he?
Yeah, interesting that right now he's trying to protect her. For some way.
There's some cool
They're
art.
wiggly.
I like these squiggly lines.
Like, maybe, like,
and
they're
I'm
on
kind
their
of
way
curious how
into-
they. I want to know what the medium was they did that in.
Oh yeah, the weird like lightning-ish.
It's an interesting effect
Ooh.
to do with not a computer. You know, that kind of thing would have been easy nowadays. But
Yeah.
a high voltage electric charge explodes into the air.
Yeah, well, that's new. I'm excited. See, didn't I tell you?
And
Okay, now it's
changes.
okay, so it's like it translates. That's kind of a neat way to do it because you
They-
can't really do it the way the book does it.
They changed the words, didn't they?
Make your choice adventurous. Oh, adventuresome, stranger. Rather than adventurous.
I wonder...
Strike the bell and bide the danger. I wonder... Maybe that was just a mistake and they would have fixed it later. I don't know.
Yeah, either the person memorized it wrong or they had some reason to change it. Maybe they thought it was bad grammar. I don't know why.
Adventurous, adventuresome. Yeah.
I think they're synonyms.
Yeah, adventuresome. I think adventurous works a little better. Maybe just because I'm used to it, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it adventuresome is a word, I guess.
It is, I suppose, or it certainly could be. There are a few words that you can sort of tack on some, and you're okay.
Right. Strike the bell and bide the danger. Or wonder till it drives you mad. Yeah, it's important that he says that line. Mm-hmm. Or wonder till it drives you mad. What would have followed if you had? Yeah, because she's focusing in on the danger, and he's like, now because it's interesting to have him just jump back and be trying to protect her from it. And now he's getting really curious, and he's going to actually put her in danger.
Right. That's an interesting. I'll go with that.
Whoa,
and she's like, I'm out of here.
No fair. We don't want any danger.
Peace out.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to like a wider shot, a slightly wider shot is good.
He's like, wait.
Suppose I'm driven mad, wondering what would have happened.
Oh, suppose I'm driven mad. Yeah.
It's too dangerous. I don't want to be like my uncle.
Oh yeah, right.
Don't be silly. Interesting, because his uncle Andrew is like both. Yeah, he calls him mad, and he also kind of insults him for not actually having the bravery to follow. He's obviously his uncle is curious about stuff, but doesn't himself have the courage to like come to a new world.
Right.
Whereas Diggory is like, well, I'm not like my uncle in that way, but he still is putting Polly in danger for his curiosity. Right. So he's following. He is doing like his uncle in a different way, being like, I'm putting myself in danger here too. He doesn't see it the same.
Yeah. So there's
stars.
He looks very happy in this scene, considering what's going on.
That's the magic of it. I can feel it beginning to work already. Magic. Yes. Good.
Yeah, she's getting her attitude.
Yes. Of course.
Ooh. Does he say that in the book?
Basically, yeah.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah. All you want to know about is gossip about, like, who's getting engaged and wrong.
Oh, well, yeah. Yep. That's all you know. It's because you're a girl. Girls never know anything. Ooh, and she is not happy with that.
Yep. Nope. Okay, so they skip ahead a little bit to her being like, well, you don't need me around then. Yeah, you can, that makes sense. You don't need, like, the whole argument. You can kind of cut to the chase. But look at that doesn't quite work. What is he doing with his hand?
I don't know, what are you doing?
His expression doesn't quite fit.
It's like, well, I'm reaching my ring and I'm gonna get out of here, probably.
Yeah, it's like he's doing finger guns.
Yeah. That's right. She reaches for it and he grabs her.
Pugnacious tone.
Pugnacious! Ooh!
That's a great word.
What a great, yeah. Okay, skipped a page. Since we're wrapping toward the end here.
Yeah. So he's holding her hand.
Nice tension in the drawing there. You can see that he's trying to pull her, but he can't quite reach it.
Yeah. Right, they might even prolong the like struggle there for a moment. That would kind of work, I think. Close up of the hand.
Diggory, you got old guy hands.
Ding.
Well, that sounded ominous.
Thank you. Whoa. There was an earthquake.
Okay, I haven't read this in too long.
Oh, yeah, you should. I mean, I don't know if it was an earthquake to that degree, but yeah, there was an earthquake. Because basically just because of the sound of the bell. Probably. Or I mean, it kind of leaves it so it could be either. It could be something magic, part of the magic, or it could just be like the really loud noise of the bell, like knock something down.
Here's a little foreshadowing. Looks like an apple.
Oh, it kind of does.
I don't think it's meant to be, but it does kind of look like one.
Ooh, pillars crashing.
That's what all the
sound. The sound of bell is still intensified.
Okay, it reminds me of Samson.
Yeah.
The pillars. Good. You should have a headache after all that.
Yeah. Ooh, oh, the gargoyle didn't got
like
smashed.
Dagon, kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Also looks in Samson.
Oh right. Well,
Oh.
no, well, sort of.
So they're
same
crushed
period.
hair and like.
Roughly.
You're right. Yeah, it's not quite the same. And
Oh,
you know, you
she
see that she
rises.
stand up. Interesting to see her at that distance. I wonder how well that would have worked.
It's creepy too because in the way the shot is framed, it's almost like they're bowing, which is incredibly wrong and creepy.
Right.
Ooh.
That they're. Huh.
So she always had an affinity for fur, but she's got a veil.
Okay.
That'll be an animation nightmare. Okay.
Maybe she would be.
Actually, capes can be kind of fun to draw, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah.
It can make her look striking in some places.
Now that was not the guy who was on her left before. He had real shaggy hair back a minute ago. Or on her right, I guess. It's her right. Yeah. Whoa. That eyes glow like a cat. She's got that kind of a He-Man kind of thing going on her crown.
I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. But it's definitely striking.
You know, it was something they played with a lot in the animated Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Which was the eyes mostly on Jadis. Would do weird things. They would spiral at certain wicked moments, and there were things they would do.
Oh, like she's almost hypnotizing someone?
Not exactly even that, but you could just tell what she was thinking because her eyes would do freakish things, and it kind of works. The more you think it through.
Yeah, and that is the last picture.
Ooh, close up of head, eyelids slowly open, eyes glow like a cat.
Yes.
Well, on that ominous note, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I wish we had the rest of it.
I wish it was a movie.
I wish it was a movie.
Yeah, or that we had the whole
script.
Yeah. I wonder if the rest of it was made.
That's the question, because, I mean, well, okay, I would assume the previous act was made.
Yes, obviously, if they got to this point. So there is more of it than this.
Right, you would think, and I guess I should be following that seller and seeing if they come up with anything again.
Yeah, searching the web, seeing if
Don't outbid me. Yeah, seeing if somebody else came up with it. Yeah, it was just so strange and random, and nobody was looking for it because nobody seemed to know it existed, except there was one online post that was an old magazine article.
Oh.
So that was kind of where, that's how they confirmed what this was, because like I said, when I first saw the first couple of shots, it doesn't look very much like modern, like what we see for concept art for movies.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Or there's a difference between concept art and like
the storyboard
and storyboarding.
Right.
So some of this seems to be a little bit in between, like storyboard and concept art.
Right, and so and also the fact that it was glued to note paper and things like that. For a second, I wasn't sure I was looking at whether it was a professional product or a book report until it went on for a little while. No. Apologies to the artist, because it does get really cool. There's some really neat stuff there. I love what they did with the wood between the worlds. There's some really, it's like I can't decide whether I would have liked it in the final form or not, but I think there were some really, sometimes there are ideas and you gotta sit on them and think about them for a while before you can kind of decide whether you are cool with the idea.
Yeah.
You know?
Most of it I'm quite good with. The changes that they made, or additions that they made, seem to me in line with the actual story.
Yeah.
And, I mean, some of it is like, the cartoon will be styles that I feel like is a little, but you know, it's animated movie, animated of the era.
Right.
So, you know, and a lot of the idea, like the fish in the beakers, is like, of course, Uncle Andy would do that. And that was kind of neat, the interaction. Of course,
somebody write me a story about the fish in the beaker because I want to know what happens to it.
Yes! Oh, no, yes, we need to get the rest of the script or find out what happened.
Yeah.
Contact whoever made this, figure out who they were. So we can find out what the ultimate fate of the fish was going to be.
Okay, so they eventually moved to a house in the country where the fish was...
He could get moved to a big, nice fish pond.
Big, nice fish pond.
And his ancestors could meet the Papacies. No, not ancestors.
Descendants.
Okay, nothing, yeah.
I like it.
Okay, and the Wood Between the Worlds was, I think, the other big surprise.
Yeah.
And
the different glowing
the other thing that was everything else was basically by the book, which I appreciate. I definitely appreciate, especially like their costumes, and that is just like, yes, it's Polly, it's Diggory.
I love it because every time I see the professor, he's played differently. It seems like all the
Yeah.
different people who play the professor, none of them have played him badly.
Yes.
And actually, I think Broadbent was pretty close to what's shown in the book.
Yes.
I grew up with the animated one who is super, super skinny, so it always throws me when I see him as a heavier,
Oh, okay.
kind of wide. He's not heavy even, but a more broad-faced character.
Oh, okay.
So, but I love that Uncle Andrew is dead on.
Yes.
Uncle Andrew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is great. Because everything that's kind of a fairly iconic look is kind of right there. And the fact, and what they did with the Wood Between the Worlds really, I think, makes it actually more visually interesting, a little eerier.
Right.
And the mist, and something that's still, I think it pretty much does just as well in the dreamlike atmosphere and like the feeling that you get from the Wood Between the Worlds is that it's very rich.
Yeah, we're never going to find out what's in the other pool.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to Narnia. Unless the other
I
ones
like
come
that the
up.
pools look different though, and they look kind of like portals while still looking like actual pools in a world.
Right. Well, like you said, it would be hard to lose your pool back to Earth.
Yeah, and maybe that's okay because that's just a reason
Right.
for them to quarrel.
Yeah, maybe the bubbling one goes to Lava World or something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, any other thoughts to add?
Final thoughts. Okay, we want to know what happens to the fish.
Yeah,
I like it's the little cupboard door. I like.
Right.
I like that Charn is still red, and those like weird face things in like.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not 100% for it, but I kinda am down for that direction. I've seen something interesting on the way there.
Right. I think it depends on how they would do it in the finished product.
Yes,
I hope they wouldn't literally cut and paste the Wolfman. No, I mean Stranger Things have happened.
Oh, okay.
In 80s animation.
Okay,
So.
granted.
But yeah, I could see that, and you're right. I think it does jive with what Lewis wrote.
Yeah.
I could certainly see there being some phantasmagorical.
Yeah, that's the word they use, isn't it? Phantasmagorical.
Phantasmagoric.
Yes.
Yeah. Or they say phantasmagoria or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, something like that. But I would be curious. What is a blank world? Is there nothing maybe? Cause it's a blank slate, right?
Yeah, because they don't realize they've arrived when they're getting to Narnia, so they're like, wait, shouldn't something be happening? So if you have, especially, it'd be nice if they had something then going back and forth between Earth, like where he thinks he sees Jupiter's moon.
Oh yeah, right.
And then you have the weird stuff going to Charn, because there should be some weird old ancient like things in like Charn universe, and then to have like nothing when you get to Narnia.
Yeah.
I think that would work well. And almost then if you have the different ponds, everyone looks kind of different, and then like the pond to Narnia maybe even just looks like just a pond. Or maybe, I don't know. Oh, right, because Fledge steps into it to drink, so he'd be most likely to do that if you have like a fairly regular looking pool. I don't know.
Here's something, because I was just flipping back to see what the pool they come out of looks like, because I'm wondering what does the Earth pool look like. But here Jill says, or Polly says she saw a face in the pool. Almost tempting them to go into Charn. That would get your attention.
That's really
I would not necessarily jump into one of those
I would
faces.
I would not do that. I would not do that.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'd be kind of like the dead marshes there.
Oh, yeah.
Totally good idea.
So they. Okay, so they try to jump
This is
into
the one that they
that
tried.
looks
Oh, and they do the same one again, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
In this picture, anyway, it looks fairly normal.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not especially weird. Which pool shall we try? Does she ask him to slow down?
Mark the previous one? I don't think they have the whole...
Aren't we going to mark this pool?
Oh, they do have
that. Yeah, they do mark it. So they're not... So some of them are pretty weird, but maybe some of them look enough alike to...
Yeah. Or you still could lose your way, maybe. Theoretically.
Yeah. That almost looks like pine branches, just the way they're drawn.
It does.
I'm not sure
exactly like a pine branch.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Which,
maybe.
I don't know. I'm okay.
So, don't want to tear it. Yeah. There's light filtering, and that
this one has lily pads on it.
Well, let's see. Ooh, that one has lily pads. This one has a sun.
Oh.
Implied.
Implied that there was
sunbeams.
light. That's true, but they couldn't quite see the source of the light. But there's lots of light coming down. It must have been a very strong light through all the leaves. And it's supposed to be a fairly green light, which that works.
So a standing stone in the middle of the pool. So these pools are really. This person was spreading out from what I always think of perfectly round
Yes.
pools that are almost edged, yeah.
Yes, and there's something a little uncanny about how exactly perfectly shaped and how there's no insects and everything like that in the thing, but it's still somehow so alive and rich.
Mm-hmm.
And so the book can just tell you that, but to have a more intricate, like, things being overgrown adds a little bit of that feeling that you can't get without Lewis describing it to you.
Yeah.
Maybe so. That's why I'm okay with the change.
Yeah, I don't see anything especially unique about that particular pool. It doesn't seem to have any.
Right.
The one they came out of. So.
Yeah, like there's that wide shot where it seems to indicate that, but maybe they were, at least when doing these pictures, they didn't quite go
Yeah,
into
well, maybe this world is going supernova right now. So here's, I know that's horrible. So it's the one that's blowing.
that has bubbles coming
No,
up.
I was thinking of the light, but yeah.
Oh, the light. Oh, right.
What was the last one? Ripples, earthquake. Apparently
There was like
earthquake.
there's the green swirls, which seemed to be what they came out of in my mind, because that looked the most like the coming from Earth.
Okay. Well, because here I'm not seeing any of the ripples, but
Here there isn't this?
This
Right,
is
in the
they
one
were-
that earlier where you see what it's the one in the middle. Say what about the
I think it's yeah.
Oh, is this them trying to go back to Earth, or is this them trying to go to a different one? Oh no, but they don't figure out there's a problem until they try a different pool. Do they?
Oh, that's the major cutting and pasting.
Interesting. So they were really going for this mushroom.
They
thing.
like the mushroom thing. Also giant leaves, apparently, but I think that was just because that's what he was
Yeah.
cutting and pasting.
Okay.
And there's probably an origin story here for the people with the toadstools.
I can see that happening. I like the autumn feel. Except I'm not sure if the autumn feel fits with the Wood Between the Worlds, because the Wood Between the Worlds is like perfectly green, nothing dying.
Except they have cattails.
Cattails also I'm not sure how I feel about.
Yeah. Don't know.
But the autumn leaves, because autumn leaves is something that's going through, because it's changing and going through a process.
You're right.
Wood Between the Worlds is constantly alive, but nothing decaying. Charn is everything's dead, nothing's growing.
Right.
And just the different kinds of stillness is like highly contrasted.
You're right. Yeah, there shouldn't be autumn leaves.
There should not be autumn leaves.
And I feel like fungus doesn't really particularly.
I mean,
go
if
there.
it's like a really nice
Fungus,
marsh,
yeah.
you know, like a really nice
marshmallow.
yeah, a really nice marshmallow.
I can just see part of them sitting there fishing. I don't remember
Yeah, no,
why.
not a
Here with them
marshmallow.
having a good time.
If it's a really nice mushroom, that's just like, you know, kind of shiny and somehow alive and not really like,
Yeah.
you know.
I still haven't found the guinea pig, but I'm sure he's in there.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
He's yawning. He's yawning.
And
Polly,
he's just like, yeah,
Polly was yawning, and now he's
a
yawning.
classic
That's
animated
hilarious.
animal. I kind of like that.
Aww.
I mean, it's again like with the fish sticking out its tongue. It's like
Yes.
not quite book first, but I'm down for it in this film. I'm okay with like a fish that can stick out its tongue and a guinea pig that can yawn. Yeah, I'm there for that.
As long as he doesn't start doing the Cinderella talking mice thing.
Yes. Well,
If he jumps in a pool and gets to Narnia, sure.
altered universe.
Yeah.
They take the guinea pig with them
With
to
them.
Narnia.
And
He
he's
becomes a
chosen one
talking
of the
guinea
talking
pig.
animals.
He becomes the father of all talking guinea pigs.
Oh my.
Oh, why didn't they do that?
That's a really good point. Oh my.
Now I'm bummed out.
Would
That's
you
okay.
take a guinea pig with you jumping into another world?
They didn't have time, but he could have just like wandered back at just the right moment to like accidentally touch them and like.
Yeah, because I would not be taking like when they
maybe he
jumped
did,
in Charn.
and then he ran off in the dark, and they didn't see.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Okay,
he's just
okay,
touching
fan
somebody's
fiction is
ankle.
coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna count on that.
Okay, but the goldfish story has to be written first.
Yes. Okay.
They could go on adventures together,
There we go.
and the mouse. The mouse that was
in
in
the corner.
Anne Landry's study.
Yeah, because
They could be a trio.
there's nothing to stop him from going and trying to grab a ring or something.
Yeah, the mouse could just
They're
be
all
like,
bright and
"Hey, I
shiny.
want to try this."
Is
And
this
then
a food tray?
Maybe he's like holding on with one paw to a green ring, and so he touches the yellow ring, so then he can use the
I'm
green
gonna
ring.
swallow it.
Well, he swallows it. He always has it with him.
Yeah.
That could work. Yeah, that could work. I'm really interested to know like who the people were involved. If they're like, even a way we could get in touch with them would be like, hey,
Yeah. Glenn
Get their
Ray.
input.
Glenn Ray, I guess. I don't
Okay.
know much
Is he
about
still
that
alive?
company. No, it's the name of the company.
yeah, well, okay, the company.
and I think it was Episcopal Radio and Television, or Episcopal Television and Radio.
Yeah.
I want to say they may have been related as well to the some of the Narnia solo books that were out at one time.
Yeah.
Or was it Evangelical? I don't remember.
So like the Choose Your Own Adventure.
Those, yeah. I want to say that some of those were released by a related group, but I may be mistaken there. I'd have to look it up. So.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that about wraps it up. But
well,
very cool.
Very cool, and thank you, thank you for joining us for our unboxing of the partial manuscript of Storyboards of The Magician's Nephew from 1982. Yes,
something like that.
Yeah. 1982, and great. Have a great evening. And Swan will be testing one of the 3 versions of Susan's horn that have been made over the years. So let's see how this sounds.
So I just blow.
You can just blow into it.